Hello again, this is Akwesi Opong. Thanks for joining me again for another post for Midofo Date Night. Today, I want to talk to you about protecting your marriage space or protecting your marriage. There are so many things that come at us as married couples on a day-to-day basis, and it's imperative that we take steps to make sure that we are protecting the space of our marriage. There's a scripture in Proverbs 4:23 that says we should guard our hearts because out of it are the issues of life. There's another version of it that says that guard your heart because it controls your life. I want to use that as a basis to talking about this. Now, in guarding our marriage space, it's guarding it against influences, things that come at us. One thing is sure that things will come at us on a day-to-day basis. But what is important is that what are the steps that we take to guard ourselves, against these challenges that come at us. I want to start by talking about, let me say this, preface it by saying that I watched a documentary on Amazon Prime. The title of it is The Men That Built America. I really, really enjoyed it. It talks about, Vanderbilt, Rockefeller, Carnegie, JP Morgan, and Ford. And there's another character in there that, even though a little was said about him, and it's Edison. Edison is the gentleman who created the light, the bulb, the electric light. And one thing that I realized about Edison is that he was very committed to his job. And in saying this, he made tremendous contribution to the technology we have today with lighting and how the comforts we enjoy today. But when you look closely, Edison spent so much time at his job that his wife, his marriage was suffering. His wife was sick, and he still didn't even have much time because of how passionate he was about what he was doing. It was a great thing he did. The point here is not to minimize his efforts to our lives and the generations that have come after him. But the point I want to make here is that his wife was going through pain and discomfort and eventually led to his wife's death. As sad as it was, that was some of the prices he paid to make sure that we had light. But the point I want to make here is that we have to make sure that we protect that marriage space. That as much as we have time for everything else in our lives, we have to also put effort and emphasis on our marriage and our relationships as well. We also have to protect our marriage against principalities. When I say principalities, they are our thoughts, the things that we think about. And it's important that we watch our thoughts. Some of the things that go in our lives are all man-made because we think about it, and the things that we think about materialize. So let's watch the things that we think about when it comes to our relationship. We also have to guard the space of our marriage against our family and friends. Family and friends influence us a lot. And I want to make a note here that we have to make sure that we don't make big decisions with our family even before our spouse get to know about it. That is usually not a good idea. Except it's a surprise, except you're planning a surprise for your spouse. But other than that, every decision has to be made with your spouse. And that's another way that you protect the space that you have. We also have to guard our relationships and our marriage against challenges. Challenges come on a day-to-day basis, whether it's a loss of a job or sickness or, money issues. Let's know that our marriage is one thing and those other things are also another thing. Let's not put the two together. The fact that you've gone through a job loss doesn't mean you're having a bad marriage. The fact that, you have money issues doesn't mean that it's your spouse's fault. And again, there are other things that could be said about that. Communications, how to handle money, and all of that could be said. But let's always make sure that we know they are in separate boxes. Another thing I also want to talk about is that when there are issues come up between the two of you, make sure you deal with the emotions of it. you're upset at your wife. Deal with the emotions of it. So when it comes to your time of intimacy or time of romance, you don't bring those negative emotions into your happy times. Deal with it, put it away, make sure it's gone, and then focus on the fun aspects of your relationship, so that we don't pull all those negative emotions back into the happy times. What happens after a period of time is that when you see your spouse, it starts bringing up all those negative feelings, because that's what you've been pondering over a long period of time. Let us guard that space, protect that space from all these influences, whether it's family, our mind, or work, or issues that has to do with life in general. As I speak now, we're going through this coronavirus, which is keeping a lot of us at home. Make sure that the fact that you're home, it's not creating any hostile environment that is impacting your marriage. Protect that space. So that's my message for you today. I hope this helps, that you put in effort to protect your marriage space. Thank you. You can always visit us on Facebook at Bedoffer Date Night, and we'll be back again to share some more. God bless you and take care.